And it turns out, by the way, for people listening to this who don't know this, this is not specialized knowledge. A lot of people know this, but I guess a lot of people don't. The entire story that Omar Mateen was a repressed homosexual who hated gay people and wanted to go and execute those people. He'd been to that club a few times, and now he was like exercising his demons by doing this because radical Islam made him hate himself for being how gay he was and all this. All that was an absolute lie. Do you know that? There wasn't the slightest kernel of truth to it. None, ever. It was completely made up. Completely made up. His wife, they tried to prosecute her, and all this came out during her testimony at her trial. Their narrative was completely blown up. The only reason he chose that nightclub is because it was the first thing in the Google results when he searched nightclub in Orlando after he had decided that security at Disneyland was too tight. And so he went, or Disney World, pardon me. And so he went there. And then one of the first things he said was, "Where are all the girls?" So he didn't understand that he was even at a gay club. The whole story about, oh, he was a repressed homosexual, all that was completely made up. What was the real story? The real story was he wrote on his Facebook page and he called 911. And it was all about America under Barack Obama bombing the caliphate that he had built in Syria, as well as bombing the trailing end of the surge escalation in the war in Afghanistan. And the guy, I'm not, just as you said, this isn't a justification at all. It's just for people to understand the reality of the world that they're living in. This guy Mateen, like they didn't release the audio, but if you can intuit anything from the transcript, he's absolutely beside himself. He's completely in a rage. And he's repeating himself over and over and over. You have to stop the bombing. You're killing women and children. You're killing women and children. You have to stop. Do you hear me? You have to stop. That's why I'm doing this. And he's going off. It's the same thing as bin Laden's, declaration of war against the Americans occupying the land of the two holy places. It's the same thing as Ramzi Youssef's letters to the New York newspapers after the first World Trade Center bombing. It's the same thing over and over and over again. Stop killing my people.